Hey VC, Gandalf 1000, I mean Big Star 1000, the official drunk of the VC on Friday night. It's Friday night, and what the heck? What am I doing anyway? I'm not going out. I'm too old to be, whistling out with the young crowd. So I stay home and I drink my sorrows and show records. How ironic. Anyway, I hope you're well. I have an installment of Revolutions for you. I've been very, very sick this week. I stayed home for a few days due to stomach bug or something like that. I spent a lot of time with my head in the toilet. Not a pleasant place to be. So I had a little bit of time to listen to some records since I was at home a bit bored after I recovered, and I'm going to share them with you. 20 to be more precise. So I'm going to start right now. So I've got a real mixed bag today for you. The record that I'm playing at the moment, Friday night, is this live album by Mr. Bill Callahan, and it's called Rough Travel for a Rare Thing, a live album. This was recorded in 2010 in Melbourne, Australia. Bill Callahan is obviously a US singer-songwriter, kind of indie, old country, smog. If you've heard of smog, this is a great record, and it has a lot of really. My favorite smog record is A River Ain't Too Much to Love, and this features a lot of the songs from that record. So I really like this. This is fantastic. So that's my current spin. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Sequoia Flame, Dave, who sent me this Daryl Dobson record. I received it this week on Monday, and I've played it about four times perhaps. And yeah, it's great, great fusion. Sort of private fusion as you imagine it to be, with lots of synth and very fast playing. Has touches of Mahavishnu and Weather Report and maybe other influences in there, but largely a really entertaining record. Thank you very much, Dave. I will treasure this. This is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Dave. Right. I'll start with records, or I'll continue with records that I played earlier in the week. I'm a bit on the Laurie Anderson kick at the moment. I'm just sort of revisiting my Laurie Anderson records, and I really dig Mr. Heartbreak, which is a great record from 1984, I would say. Yeah, on Warner Brothers. The cast is amazing on this. It's got Laurie Anderson, Adrian Belew, William S. Burroughs, Peter Gabriel, Bill Laswell, Nile Rodgers. Phoebe Snow. A lot of really exciting musicians. I would highly recommend this. Very cheap to buy. You can get this for nothing. Anywhere in Australia you can. Mr. Heartbreak, really great art rock record, just impeccable music. And I remember when I played this, I was trying to find something to follow, and I followed it up with this amazing Australian, talking about art rock. This is really what you call art rock at its finest. Well, it's kind of a post-punk art rock record. Roland S. Howard, Teenage Snuff Film, which is his record from 1999, I think, or 95 maybe. Don't quote me. I think it's from 1995, perhaps. Although I have a feeling it could be from 1999 as well. Roland, it was his first solo album. Roland S. Howard was an original member of the Birthday Party with Nick Cave, well, Boys Next Door, Nick Cave, and then he went on to make his solo records. He's a guitar player. Passed away sadly in 2009. This is just amazing record from start to finish. Very cinematic, has a bit of a post-rock feel to it. It's great piece of music, great album. Continuing, I recently discovered that this compilation had been reissued on vinyl. I'm not going to buy the vinyl, but it's got me to pull the compilation out of my shelves. The Kruder Dorfmeister, the K&D Sessions. This is a seminal comp that came out in what year? Very good question. Very good question. 2001 perhaps, or 2002 or something like that. Kruder Dorfmeister, two German producers, and this comp is a mix of sort of down tempo tracks which flow so well and are mixed perfectly, and when you listen to this you're given a sense of a whole. I wouldn't buy the vinyl for one reason, is because the continuous flow of the music on the CD I think would be superior to the music, to having flipping sides every 5 minutes. I think this will give you a more wholesome experience, I think. I became aware of the vinyl reissue because Armin made a video about it, so it made me pull it out. So thank you, Armin, if you're watching. I don't know if you watch this, but I listened to this about 3 times, including on my computer at work in my headphones. Fantastic comp. So as I said, I was home for a couple of days sick, and I watched quite a few videos in the meantime, and was in bed with my iPad, and I watched a BBC documentary on the story of Rough Trade Records, which I planned to watch for a while, but sort of was sitting on my to watch list, and I finally took the time. It was really exciting. I mean, I sort of know the Rough Trade story, but it was a bit more complicated than what I thought it was. Anyway, the very first record ever released by Rough Trade, the full LP, the first full LP ever released by Rough Trade was this, Stiff Little Fingers, Inflammable Material, and so it made me pull the record out, obviously, and I enjoyed it more than I ever did before. Really, it has a really great Clash feel about this. Notably, when you listen to tracks like Johnny Was, which is on the second side, which is really kind of a Police and Thieves of sorts, very reggae sort of. This is a fantastic record, highly recommended release from Stiff Little Fingers. It's a beautiful record. And on a completely different plane of existence, I played this Freedom Jazz France, which is a sort of spiritual jazz compilation with artists from France or related to France in the way of living there. Not all of them are French, but most of them are. For example, there's a track by Noah Howard there. You know, so not French, but you know, living in Paris at the time, and so on and so forth. This is a great comp by Diggers Digest and Heavenly Sweetness. Now, the reason I pulled this out is because of the track by the band group Rupture, which, as the record has been reissued by Heavenly Sweetness, and I got this record. I got it in the mail this week. Fantastic record. I'll show it in my next Final Files. But I was just revisiting the track just to remind myself how good the track was. What else? But this, the Gary Burton, the new quartets. This is ECM 1030, 1973. With obviously Gary Burton on vibes and three other players which are lesser known. Nonetheless, a really great listen. And I hadn't played this for a while, but I really was digging this the other morning. Fantastic sort of ambient jazz, very sparse and beautiful, and a bit fusiony as well. Excellent. Again, a completely different, like it's almost a tangent of its own. I was revisiting this Blue Oyster Cult record, Secret Treaties. I love this record. It's got an edge to it. I mean, I'm not into metal or anything like that, but it's got this sort of proto, you know, almost near metal that is just enough for me and keeps me going. It's fantastic record. Really dig this. And these guys were music critics, I think, turned musicians. Buck Dharma, the leader of the band, fantastic album, The Blue Oyster Cult. An album that I have had for many years, but I have had a desire to revisit a lot lately, is In the Land of Grey and Pink by Caravan, a landmark in sort of progressive jazz music. Just every song is gorgeous, especially the 9 Feet Underground Suite, 22 minutes. Amazing music. I'm not a fan of Golf Girl, which is the first song. It's kind of out of place. It's completely, it just seems to be, but you know, if prog's not your thing and you want something that is very unprog but very far forward thinking, it's this is the album that you want. From 1971, I think. The Land of Grey and Pink. I was watching Ted Higgs the other day. He made a video and he showed this record, Donato Deodato, which is a sort of Brazilian jazz record with Deodato, Joey Donato, Randy Brecker, and people like Ayrton Moreira, Red Barreto. Very cool session. I don't think it was intended to be a record per se, but really worked well. Excellent record on Muse from 70, maybe even the late 60s or the early 70s. So I played this. I really enjoyed the crap out of it. It was great. Thank you, Ted. Here's a bunch of classics that, well, I'm not going to talk too much about them. I think you probably know enough about those records. I was playing this the other day. This is a record by a band called the Rolling Stones. The record is, as you can see, called Beggars Banquet. It features Charlie Watts on drums, Keith Richards on electric mandolin, and Mick Jagger, who sings in Japanese. No one quite knows what he's talking about, but it's quite entertaining nonetheless. The cover of this album was designed by Andy Warhol himself, based on the Campbell soup design that he came up with himself. So it's a very nice record. I wouldn't say it's seminal or essential. I'm not here to be pretentious about this, but it's worth listening to. It's almost as good as Hotel California by the Eagles. I'm still obsessed with Asia. I don't know why. I have no idea. This record has taken over my life. I must play Asia like 3 times a week or something, but every time it's a winner. If you don't believe in Steely Dan, if you have a religious objection against Steely Dan, I beg you to reconsider. This album is the shit. It is the shit. And you can find it for $5 or $3 anywhere. Overcome your mental block about Steely Dan. If you have one, if you don't have one, don't worry. If you have one, this is just beautiful. Anyway, Cranky Old Bastard from Northern Ireland, called Van Morrison, and no relation to Keith Richards or Mick Jagger. Although a little bit Jaggerish on the picture. This is a fantastic record, St. Dominic's Preview. Just every song's a winner. Beautiful singer-songwriter, soul. You could say, yeah, soul folk. You could call it St. Dominic's Preview. Just a stunning record. I love Jackie Wilson Said and Listen to the Line, and the title track, Smokes, 1972, American Press on Warner Brothers original. It's just most excellent. Another favourite, not going to talk about this too much, except to say that one of my favourite album of all time is Histoire de Melody Nelson by this guy. My current favourite album by this guy is this. I mean, it's a bit of a dichotomy. It's very difficult to actually work out how you can make a statement like that. But at the moment, I love this record so much. It is just the beast. This record just so funky. I mean, if you've got a second, just listen to the song called Flash Forward on it. Song called Flash Forward. And see how you listen to that keyboard and guitar riff. It's just amazing. And again, another classic that I have pulled out for the first time in a long time. It's Hejura from Joni Mitchell, which is a most sort of jazzy record. Features Jaco Pastorius on bass from 1976, the year this good boy was born. The arrangements are stunning, the songs are stunning, on the Salem Records, which itself is a great label for singer-songwriters. If you like Jackson Browne and Tom Waits, you know, that's the place to be. I've got 3 more. Alright, and tonight these are the records that I played before I made this video. Starting with a classic by UB40, Present Arms, which is from 1981. Was the second record. In my book, UB40 are great in the first 2 records. The yellow one, well, the I can't remember the title of the yellow one. And this one, fuck, I'm tired. So here's the yellow one. You'll be writing in the comments just to be a smart ass, fucking smart asses. And this Present Arms is very, very, very good album. After that, maybe not. But the sound they get is just so. I mean, for white guys from Birmingham, they just nail it. They're just. And when the songs are good, it's just brilliant. 1 in 10 the song on there that people will know. It's 110. Great. This is a compendium of some of UK's greatest jazz rock players. Dick Hextall Smith was in Colosseum. He was the tenor sax player, and then he went on to make his own record. It's called "Story Ended." This is from 1971 or 2 on Bronze Island Records, and it has Caleb Quay on guitar and people like Graham Bond on organ, Chris Spedding, Gordon Beck, Paul Williams. Great fusion, early jazz rock record. And finalement, le dernier album aujourd'hui, c'est celui-ci, Victorialand by the Cocteau Twins. Superb ethereal pop record by the Cocteaus. I'll just leave it at that, you know. And if Campo, if you're watching, big fucking time, okay? That's all I'm gonna say.